Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday morning to you all. Hope you're all okay. Hope you have all had a great week and the weekend is going to treat you even better. Obviously, I know I've been away a little bit this week and ironically, not a lot has happened. But we'll talk about some updates surrounding Johan Wissa. There's some updates surrounding Richarlison and move potentially back to Brazil, Morgan Gibbs-White. I'm really talking about kind of the landscape of Spurs rumor mills, because I think, there are a few journalists who are kind of knowing that Spurs are going to be very busy this summer. And, we will be. Gibbs-White's not the last deal we do this summer. There'll be more to come. And they're just throwing as many names out there as possible in the hope that if one of them is right, they look like a genius. And the idea is not to believe everything you see. That's why we try and get rid of some stuff on this channel. Morning, Graham and Sonia, Spurs, Steve, Venturous, EZ. How are we all? Let's jump in. And I want to talk about Johan Wissa first, because there's a couple of things within this this world of Johan Wissa that it has an effect on it. We're going to be talking about Liverpool's move for Ekitike. We're going to be talking about as well the Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United, because it all plays a part. And the idea is Brentford only want to sell Johan Wissa or Bryan Mbeumo if they have to, if what they are wanting is met. They don't want to be selling both. So hence why Man United making a new bid for Bryan Mbeumo can potentially slow things down or make things more difficult. Because yesterday, David Ornstein said that Newcastle are exploring a move to sign Johan Wissa from Brentford after the calling of their Hugo Ekitike interest. No Newcastle or Brentford contact yet, but expected soon. Personal terms also need to be agreed. Availability and price may depend on Mbeumo's case, because the Mbeumo news came out yesterday as well, that Manchester United have made an improved bid to sign Bryan Mbeumo. I won't go through what the offer is because it's irrelevant, but they are getting closer to what Brentford would like in terms of, it's about 70 odd million is what they want now. And the deal is 70 million, but some of it is add-ons. And obviously, yeah, the Ekitike news was Liverpool advancing in talks to sign Ekitike from Frankfurt. Obviously, that is a massive domino effect, because Spurs are still in this market. And that might shock a few of you. That might impress a few of you. But Spurs are still in that market. Sami Mukbo had said that Spurs are still keen on the move for Johan Wissa and are a lot more advanced than Newcastle. So where we lie in the journey of doing that transfer, I don't truly know. I like Johan Wissa, but I like Johan Wissa at the right price, because, and it's not a dig at Johan Wissa or Brentford whatsoever. Brentford should want as much money as possible out of Johan Wissa. They've lost their manager this summer. They've lost their captain this summer, because obviously Norgard's gone to Arsenal. They're going through a bit of a change this summer. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with sort of rebooting and reloading and so on and so forth. But they don't want to then lose their two attackers as well, because that's a huge change to the system. It's a huge change for Keith Andrews, the new manager there, to have to kind of go through losing your captain, losing your two main attackers. It's a lot to lose. So I can see where it's coming from. Now, the reported number, obviously, we all know is £50 million. I can't foresee anyone paying 50 million. I know that Newcastle were wanting to spend 70 odd on I think it was about 70 odd on Ekitike, which looks like it might end up being more expensive than that. Spurs don't want to spend 50 million on Johan Wissa. I don't think any team wants to spend 50 million on Johan Wissa, because due to his age, he is in his late 20s. The return on investment won't last forever on him, unfortunately. That's why Nottingham Forest had a bid rejected. Or was it about 22, 23 million pounds, something like that, that had been rejected for Johan Wissa probably about a week ago now. That's where I think a lot of teams' market will be. They might get to 35 million on him, but Brentford wanting 50, I just can't personally see. Now, again, like Johan Wissa, and I would, Frank apparently, supposedly, again, Frank believes he can convince Johan Wissa to sign with Spurs over these other teams. I don't think that would be very difficult, if I'm honest. He wouldn't have to move very far. He's playing for a Big Six team. The money will be good for him per week. And he plays for his manager again over Forest, who are in the Europa League, so a tier below. And you never know. You might not be able to ever leave Nottingham Forest because of their owner. Wait for someone to nibble on that. And obviously Newcastle at the other end of the country. It does play a part. Logistics do play a part in it. And that's why it benefits us. Obviously, choosing Forest over a Big Six or a Newcastle is an interesting decision for any player to make, especially due to the current situation. But you know, all the things that line up for a player would want to move to a club is there. You know, he'd probably be a starting striker at Forest. That's the only thing that would have going for him there. I think Newcastle supposedly want to play two up front. That's the idea. They wanted to play Ekitike with Isaac. You know, I never foresaw that being a situation that was going to happen. I just had a feeling Liverpool would go, all right, well, we want Isaac. Oh, you're not going to sell Isaac? Then we'll just go get Ekitike. And Ekitike is going to choose Liverpool over Newcastle 10 times out of 10. So with us, you know, obviously we there may be a situation as time goes by that we do play two up top, but it's not forever going to be like that, you know. Morning, Jazz and Janice and Joshua. I hope more positive news on Gibbs-White getting done. Yeah, we'll come to him in a second. Yeah, Yo versus the year left. Do I miss your video? Gibbs-White will be done this weekend or something like that. I think anyone that's saying Gibbs-White's getting done this weekend is, again, it's that thing of, if I do it and I'm right, I look like a genius. And if I'm wrong, I can somehow blag my way out of it. Nobody truly knows that Gibbs-White's getting done this weekend. They don't. Has there been new updates? Yes, which I'm coming to in a minute. But I would not for a second put down that Spurs are signing him this weekend. Not for a second. Morning, St. Punk. Steve's in America, is he? No, he's in Australia. Big D, mate, how are you, big man? Big up, Faz. Do you think we will sign Gibbs-White eventually before Monday? I don't think Levy Gill have easily done nothing wrong. Look, if you had to say, look, here's a tenner, where are you going with it? I don't think he gets done this weekend. There's nothing that's come out in the last couple of days that would give me any confidence in getting it done this weekend. You know, there's too many journalists at the moment going, Spurs want this player, Spurs want player, this, and it's like it's like people are linking us to like 700 players. Like, lad, I know we're gonna have a busy summer, but those journalists that are putting us out that we've been linked to like 700 players, like Ben Jacobs is a big one. We keep getting linked to so many players. Trust me, we're not signing all those players. We're not. We're really not. Okay, so to be honest, when he said, he said all sorts of stuff came out on Twitter yesterday about stuff. I just chose to ignore it, if I'm honest. I still linked with Xavi Simons. It's like nobody else is linking us to Xavi Simons anymore. So unless you know something that no other journalist in the world of football knows, it's not happening. And I wish it was, because I love Xavi Simons, but it's not happening. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really struggling with the ITK world of Twitter, because I think half of them are speaking absolute hot air. Morning, Sean, Sonia. Too many clicks and papers to sell. Yeah, they need to sell column. They need to sell columns. That's what it is. It's to be honest, there's a guy on Twitter that seems to be getting everything right at the moment. THFC Himothy. I recommend having a look at his Twitter, because he's getting a lot of things right, and he's getting a lot of things right before a lot of people. He's all right, but you're really waiting for the big boys. You're waiting for Alistair Gold. You're waiting for Ornstein. You're waiting for Romano. The rest of them, I'm not blown away by at the moment. I'm not. I prefer Simmons to Morgan Gibbs-White. I'd prefer Simmons over everyone we've been linked to be fair, but it's not happening. Philip, how are you? Bayern is Simmons' most likely destination. Well, it wouldn't be an outrageous shout to say that, would it? But yes, sorry. Yeah, just finish off with Wissa. Forest and Spurs are much further along in their attempt to sign Vio Wissa, but Newcastle are trying to make a move. So there you go. They're finishing up on Wissa. side of news. Yes, let me bring in something here. In terms of the guy that I just mentioned, THFC Himothy, I really recommend him, by the way, because I've come across him the last sort of week, and there's a lot of things on here that you kind of go, "Great, he's ahead of everyone else." You know, he was ahead saying that Spurs have actually upped their bid from 60 million by a few million to try and smooth it over and get the deal done. But Forest are desperate not to sell him to Spurs, basically. They need to play a careful game here because other players will be looking at Forest going, if I get release clause in my contract, like it still might not mean I'm going. But he supposedly made a small increase on the offer. But apparently Forest are also offering Gibbs-White to other clubs. So there you go. Apparently Levy is not afraid to move away from this deal if it continues to drag on, which I don't mind as well. At some point, there has to come a date where you kind of go, if it's not done by now, we need to move on. It'll be a problem for them to deal with on the other end. You know, I'm talking about Forest. It'll be a problem for them to deal with on the other end. It won't be a problem for us to deal with. So they sort of go. But yeah, apparently there's issues in their legal proceedings that Spurs have sort of pounced upon on them. So we'll sort of see on that as well. And then, yeah, the media all started to follow what he was saying. And the last thing he said this morning was Frank will be looking to develop on the academy, you know. Now, if you want his Twitter, by the way, I'll put it here. You can have a little follow of him, and you can see for yourself if you like him or not. You know, some people don't. Each their own. There's some people that really dislike me, which is mad, but they're more than welcome to. Hang on, let me get his Twitter handle. There you go, him. Have a look at him. You might see some good stuff on there. I should have gone for Naipan. He will be special. Do we need Wissa at this point? Well, look, a lot of this is going to come down to, and I will be real, a lot of this is going to come down to players moving on. Players moving on. This is the key thing that's going to be coming up in the next sort of couple of weeks. Players will be left from the tour and they will be starting to be moved on. Where's our left back? Oh, it's coming. I've got faith it's coming this summer. Of all the summers, this is summer that I feel most confident that we'll be signing a left back. Another point, every team can now trigger the same clause. Yeah. So if we're offering more, but teams offer that, then they're just cutting their nose off to spite their face, which, look, each their own. You do you know what I mean? Your thoughts on Keeley deal? Don't mind it. It's a good move for him to Luton. So if you're not aware, Josh Keeley is moving to Luton on a permanent deal. There's a sell-on clause. There's a buyback clause. There's, yeah, quite a few things in that deal. I don't mind it. Personally, for me, Brandon Austin has a lot of value at Spurs due to being the only academy-trained player in European football's eyes. So I've just got an email from something. Yeah, I didn't mind it personally. Brandon Austin has that value. You've got Kinskit's coming. You've got Vicario as number one. At best, he is the fourth keeper at the club now. So it's the right thing in a way. Yes, you could go for a loan deal. But actually, if he can go somewhere, settle, he'll develop a lot faster. You bring him on board. You can bring him on board in a couple of years' time. And if not, if he goes for somewhat decent money, then Spurs will make some decent money. So there's also that, you know. So, yeah, a lot there, really. A lot there to sort of get through. Bringing in a little bit of Richarlison flavour news, because I just saw this, and look, it's coming from Brazilian sources, saying that Palmeiras are reportedly willing to offer 55 million for Tottenham forward Richarlison. How much? 55 big smackers. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I can't really jazz this news up to be more than it is. Just done. 55 million. I think we all love Richie, but we also kind of look at it and go, that's 55 million. That's not bad. That is not bad. I don't think you'd ever get 55 million from a Brazilian side buying a player, but if that was legit and that's the case, you do it. Like I said, I don't think it will do, but yeah, mental. How much is Saudi offering for Madison? I don't believe it for a second. They're going for Madison. I don't. Madison's here to stay. Madison's here to stay. You know what I mean? Drive him to the airport. Yeah. I pay for the taxi and everything. Yeah, supposedly it's in pounds, Sonia. Supposedly, I just double checked it. Like Richie, but you got to sell if you can. I mean, it's just 55 million. Like, it's just crazy good money. You can take that and replace him. Absolutely. You can take that money and replace him with that money and still have some left over. Like, you can go get me a friggin' left back, couldn't you? You can go get me a striker and a left back with that money. Just saying, that could be great. Threatening you with a good time. Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time, Palmeiras. Honestly, don't do that to me. Don't do it to me. Andy, news or opinions on Ardan Jashan? Don't know anything about it, to be honest, Chief. If you weren't aware, I was here Monday. I've been gone basically the rest of this week. I've been working away and things like that. So I have no idea what's going on with some transfer news. I am useless, to be honest to you. So there is some transfer news that's probably happened or links and reports that have happened, and I have no idea. So apologies. Sell Richie, buy Sesko. No, I don't want Sesko. I don't know. Sesko for a guy of that club level of RB Leipzig, like if you look at his stats, they're just not really blowing you away for the fact you have to spend 80 to 90 million on him. I think it's like Vlahovic, right? People that still talk about Vlahovic just don't watch Juventus and haven't watched Vlahovic in years. They're just riding off the high of what it used to be. Same kind of with Sesko. Like Sesko a year or two ago, super exciting, but like last season was just a bit naff. So, nice time, big man. I'm trying my best. I'm a little bit burnt on the nose, but I'm trying my best. Decent. Yeah, it's decent there. Decent there, isn't it? Are we going to focus on the midfield? Yeah, look, they are going to focus on the midfield. They do want to add in the midfield. What is it? Walker Peters is going to West Ham. So we won't be going there. So it'd be Dennis Kirkin is the only one for the academy chart side of things. But again, that's nothing. That's nothing going on there. But yeah, midfield is what they're trying to work on. Job's good, just absolutely knackering. Left back, Ben Davies is available. Jesus wept. Oh, I do forget about Ben sometimes. I can't lie. Morning, Tony. Hearing Wissa wants Spurs. Well, Frank wants Wissa. Wissa wants Frank, and in turn, I guess, wants Spurs. You know what I mean? What was it? Oh, Parashi really likes Rafael, and it was like, oh, grow up. Is that's really what we're going on about now? Like, you know what I mean? It's like the amount of crap stories that comes out. Spurs via Parashi really want Rafael. Oh, just what on earth is that all about? Yeah, Spurs want to spend 100 million plus on a guy that does no defensive work, who is overrated in my opinion, especially for that kind of money. Like he's a good player. He's not 100 million pounds worth. If you've watched, I mean, if he's 100 million pounds worth, why AC Milan in a lesser league so naff last season? They spent money. They've got the squad. They've got a decent squad. And people kept telling me, oh, look at Teo Hernandez and how good he is. And it's like, no, he's not. He's naff. Yeah, we're not in for Rafael. Like, it's just not a case. Like, this is what I mean. It's like, throw enough crap out there. Something's going to go viral. That's going to get me a few likes, a few follows, some few tweets. It's going to make me some money. Bingo, bango. It's like, do you remember we got linked to Mbappe for like a day a few years ago? And it was, I made a news story and I was like, I'm going to clickbait you all. I literally said, I remember doing it. I was like, I'm going to clickbait everyone with it just for fun. I was like, this is not happening. Like, the fact anyone believes this is hilarious. And it's same with Rafael. If you believe that, it's hilarious. You'll also believe I'm wearing a pink shirt that says Peyton Manning. That says Timu Tino. And the sign is yellow, you know, like you believe anything. And am I going to the pre-match game tomorrow? I'm probably going to try and catch some sleep this weekend, if I'm honest, mate. I am beyond knackered. I can see it in the camera. My face is just knackered. Osman's the missing piece. He's going to Galatasaray. Yeah, Lang silent recruiter. He is. Just need a 6 in this window. I think we need more than that, Chief. I like Wissa, but blowing 40 million on a 40 million plus on a 29-year-old is a bit much. I sort of said 30, 35. I'd be comfortable still with, but like anything more than that, it's just too much. We're going to our end of next week. Probably a couple more signs before we go. Well, look, you'd hope Gibbs-White's done before then. You'd hope Gibbs-White was done before then, and maybe one more. Like, I think a lot of people worry because this deal has now dragged on a week. Because he was supposed to have a medical a week ago, by the way. So this deal has dragged on because obviously Marinakis is throwing his toys out the pram. Spurs still work on other deals. They don't just work on one deal at a time. They work on all clubs work on multiple deals, you know. Deals don't just happen in the space of a couple of hours just because Fabrizio Romano's tweeted about it. Deals take weeks and months to do. So it's a nice yellow too. What job am I doing? I run a gym. Must be calorie deficit weight loss. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm probably down 20 kilograms. So I'm fit and strong and vascular and all that stuff that you do from losing all that weight. But no, it's just the travel. Like the travel is just kicking my head and kicking my backside, you know. You're off to Tuesday next week, hoping my future is sorted before I go. Your future? Well, I hope your future's always sorted, Simo, mate. Like, don't worry about anyone else. Hope your future's fine. You like Shard from Brentford. Why isn't Morgan Gibbs-White answer his contract to be honoured? He's asked for a solution. That's what he has asked for. Appreciate Steve. Sofian, how are you? Well, on the weight loss? Yeah, well, I do it all the time. I go through the winter periods, I bulk, put loads of weight on so I can lift all the heavy weights. And then just after my birthday at the end of February, so March onwards, I lose weight. So I'm in shape for summer. So that's what we do. That's what we do. Are we still linked with Jacob Ramsey? He's linked with Nottingham Forest to replace Morgan Gibbs-White. This team needs experienced pros. I'm all for signing Wissa. 40 million is a bargain. He scored 19 goals last year. No, I like Wissa, but you know, you have to weigh up. Is he taking away budget from other areas of the squad that need work? You know, that's my attitude. And also, like, he's only going to be here for a few years. You've got to weigh up these things, you know. You need to work out an inside Spurs gym. That will come. I'll have my own gym in my own time. We probably have been happy to pay 100 million for Morgan Gibbs-White and Wissa at the start of the month. Tad bit less for me. Personally. Like a left back. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a left back. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever heard me ask for a left back, but I do fancy getting a left back in this summer. Bold, I know. Somewhat. Some people would call me crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Wharton interest. The amount of this is what's irks me, right? The amount of people putting out tweets going Spurs are going to sign Adam Wharton. The amount of YouTubers that have put out Spurs are going to sign Adam Wharton. It's like, no, we're not. I said at the start of this summer, he is going to cost 100 million plus because Palace will, and Palace haven't even sold Mark Gray yet, which, by the way, that's mental. That's mental. I thought that he would have been sold by now. Eze still has interest from other clubs. Like, Palace also in Europe this season, they have no need to sell a player. Adam Wharton has multiple years left on his contract. The amount of Spurs fans that just assume because we spent some money on a couple of players, they think, oh yeah, they'll just drop 80 plus million on Adam Wharton. It's like, then you also probably think I've got, green hair. And that's not because I'm near the sign, Yeah, Robinson news has gone quiet. That's gone quiet. Any truth in Hill to sell to Vigo? He'll have interest, but I have no idea what's going on there, to be honest. I still don't think Spurs are making I saw someone say that we're going to make 15, 20 million on Brian Hill. I'm like, no, we are not. We are probably going to get about 5 to 7.5 million. How is Man United going with Mbeumo? They made another offer yesterday. I know that. Do you think that we should get a left back? Sonia, I do believe we should get a left back. Thanks for asking. Yes, absolutely left back. What is a left back, Ray says? Right. I've been had on here. I'm being had on. Everyone can sense that I'm tired and I'm being had on. Maximum Esteve from Burnley can cover left back and left centre back. It's gone quiet on him. Hill we bought for 22 million, so it'll be a loss. Yeah. Let's just call it freeing up funds. How's Hill shown up for training yet? He got injured, didn't he? So I don't really know what his recovery is at the moment. I don't actually know, to be honest. Left back news. Simo, you and me are going to go outside in a minute, and I'm going to have a strong word with you. Such a SH1T bag. Right, a few more comments. Still on the premises, just not a rush enough. Get rid. Yeah, I still hope they will. Arsenal don't sign Gyökeres and Eze to build a better side in the league. I think Arsenal are taking a step back this year. I think they finish in the top 4 for sure. I think Chelsea are going to be better this year. City are going to return. They've spent loads of money, and obviously Rodri's back. The best player in the Premier League, and Liverpool have spent Wirtz, Frimpong, and Kerkez. They're going to be better as well. I think Arsenal are going to take a step back this year. I think they'll finish highest 3rd, maybe 4th. I just think City are going to improve so much this year. And City only just finished behind them as well, with ungodly amounts of injuries and Rodri being out the whole season. I think they're going to be. I think you're in for a City season this year. If we get a left back, would you get a shirt with the player's name on? Depends on the player, to be honest, because the player's crap. I don't want to do it. If we sign a left back, I'll get a shirt with Destiny Doggy's name. How about that? If the other player's half decent, I'll get that player. But if not, it'll be Destiny Doggy. Terrible, Simo. If we have this investment, I hope we can bring in seasoned pros. I want Wissa. I mean, well, we're signing Kudus. He's seasons. Morgan Gibbs-White seasons. They're in their mid-20s as well. I think we'll finish 5th this season. Liverpool and Man City worry me. We're not winning the title. Don't worry about those two big men. We're not winning the title, so don't worry about it. Andy, left back Brady. Tell you what. Deep line playmaker. He'd pick a pass or two. We can't go to UCL with Richie Solanke as our number 9s. Well, currently we are. And we technically are in the UCL with them as our number 9s already. Out of all the players we have at the moment, which player would you want on a shirt most? Something about getting Brennan Johnson because he scored the winning goal. There's something about that, to be honest. Look, I mean, you can never go wrong with so many players in that squad. Madders is a good shout. Bergval, Sonny, Adogi, Romero, Mickey, Porro even, I'll give you a few names there. None of them a bad shout. It's gone quite on Biss leaving. No, I just think, I always said this week and next week, always going to be the 2 weeks. I think it was going to spark up. We've had a few little links and things like that, but I think, look, if we're signing, 5 or 6 players this summer, you should expect players to be going and go a lot of them as well. So be prepared for that. But look, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I need to go do some work. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. Please go look after yourselves. Please Please enjoy the sun. If you're in England, it's a lovely day today. If you're in Australia, sorry, it's maybe not as nice. Please look after yourselves. I'll be back potentially tomorrow to talk about, more transfer news. And hopefully, soon enough, we'll get some good Morgan Gibbs-White news. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. And I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Peace.